What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and after the last couple of videos of testing imprint stones and testing a couple card sets on a few of the 7 Deadly Sins characters, a lot of you are really curious about the new card set that we can actually get through the new banner, which is the Knowledge set. And we'll scroll down to it right here and take a look at it. This set right here that offers 21% extra attack with all 3 cards combined, and it gives you the increased starlight and chill damage by 75% and the active skill damage by 23%. Now, something to note about these card sets is they're not fest sets. If you take a look at this card set, you have a CP of 844, whereas with we'll just go to a AKANE set because that's the set we actually compared that card set to quite a bit in these comparisons. And the AKANE set, because it's a fest set, actually has 1082 CP. So we get about 200 more CP per card, which is about 600 more CP with all 3 cards on a character. And that does make a lot of difference in the damage that we're dealing. But a lot of you are really curious because the Knowledge set does offer the extra chill damage and the starlight damage. And you were all really curious about Merlin here. And you were very curious about King since he does have the starlight explosion. Now, I'm not going to put you all through that again where we're just going in the Spider Robot and we're testing all these characters and all these card sets. I went ahead and done all the testing already, and I logged down all the numbers with the card sets and the damage numbers that I actually was able to achieve. And you might find this pretty interesting. So the first character that I tested it with was Merlin. And Merlin's actually really amazing for her because she does have the chill damage on her second skill. She applies chill damage, and that's going to synergize very, very well with the extra chill damage from that card set. But to boot for old Merlin, this is something that people seem to forget, is that she also, 4 seconds after landing a critical hit, freezes the target for 2 seconds, but deals an additional damage equal to 170% of attack to all enemies upon attacking a chilled target. So not only does she get the chill damage from the second skill, she's going to get that extra 75% from the card set, but she's also going to get this 170% at times. And that is a lot of chill damage, my friends. Not only that, but on her third skill, she can also deal chill at times. I mean, it's kind of RNG. You know, sometimes you'll deal burn, chill, darkness, but it'll be equal to 40% of attack to the target upon landing a basic attack. Now, in the testing that I did, I didn't use any basic attacks. I just used the active skills. So that actually won't come into play. But the 170% of attack to all enemies upon attacking a chill target will. And surprise, surprise, let me give you the numbers and the card sets that I used for old girl as far as how much damage she did. So I tried her out with the AKANE set, and I was actually able to get 12,967,000 when I just spammed her skills. Just like in the test in the last couple videos, I just spammed their skills, and that's it, right? I just did 10 seconds spamming. Then after that, I went ahead and tried the SERENA set. And I wanted to try the SERENA set because this set really has replaced a lot of cards in the game, especially in game modes like Guild Raid, where a lot of people will use Merlin and Spider Robot, obviously, because you're just going to be tagging in your characters back and forth. Because the way this thing works is you got an extra 21% extra attack from all 3 of your cards, but you also get an extra 13% attack, which is 34% extra attack in total. And you also get an increased attack by additional 15% for 10 seconds and gain 10% power when you're tagging in a character. That is a lot of extra damage. And what I did was, when I did my testing, is I actually made sure that I tagged Merlin in, and I played the same way with all 3 of these tests. With all these tests I did, I played exactly the same. Lo and behold, the SERENA set actually gave her 13,589,000 for her score. So the SERENA set beat the AKANE set by about 600,000 points, give or take, right? About 600,000 points. The SERENA set did better than the AKANE set. Now, how well did this set do on her? Well, this has come to a surprise, you guys, but it actually did 14,388,000. And I really think that is due to that core we just talked about a little bit ago. That Merlin said, when you're spamming your skills, definitely does more damage than the AKANE, which is the optimal set for Merlin, or the SERENA set if you're using her in Guild Raid. I'm calling it the Merlin set or the Knowledge set, whatever you want to call it, actually did more damage. So that was actually really good to know that it did more damage. And if you don't have the SERENA set and you're working on trying to get this set, it will actually do almost 1 million more damage than the SERENA set. Or it'll actually do about 1.4 million more damage than the AKANE set. That is a massive increase in damage. And then it got my curiosity peaking. I thought, man, if it does that kind of damage, what will it do on other characters? So the second character I tested on was King. And because of that Starlight Explosion, I did run defensive cards here. The same card as the one that's right here. So we could get that extra defense because he gets this increased attack by 45%. And I tested it with HP cooldown cards and with the defensive cooldowns. And the defensive cooldowns, like this one here, definitely did a little bit more damage. But when I ran with the Kea set, I got 3,560,000, right? And then when I ran with the Merlin set, or the Knowledge set, whatever you want to call it, I got 3,672,000. So he only did about 120,000, about 110,000 more with the Knowledge set or the Merlin set. I just call it the Merlin set because it's got Merlin for the artwork. Just easier to remember that way. But he only did about 110,000 more. So for King, even though he's got the Starlight Explosion, it didn't really seem to make a whole lot of difference, in all honesty, versus the Kea set. So for those of you that were thinking about trying to get the Merlin set for King, I don't really think it's worth it. It doesn't seem to really be boosting up his damage that much at all. That is very, very insignificant amount of an increase. And then I got to thinking, man, who else has Chill and Starlight that we use, pretty much on a regular basis, or that we use in the game quite often? And that character would be Athena. And Athena does do Starlight damage, and she is a main Guild Raid player, and which is another reason I wanted to test this on her. But she also gets this deal additional damage equal to 100% of attack upon landing a critical hit on a target in Starlight, which is similar to Merlin, but Merlin's is 170%, whereas Athena's is 100%. And here's what happened. So I tested her with the Kea set, and I ended up getting 12,344,000 with the Kea set. With the Merlin set, I got 11,968,000. And by the way, guys, all these numbers that I'm giving you, I tested these characters over and over with these cards, switching up the cards back and forth, and these were the best numbers that they got. So she actually did better with the Kea set. So if you have the Athena set, which is this set right here, you're definitely going to do more damage than that Merlin set would ever dream of. And even the Kea set still does more damage on Athena than the Merlin set. Surprise, surprise. But because she doesn't have that giant 170% increase to attack to the Starlight, that I think is pretty much why. And Athena is just a defensive character. Merlin's a balance type, so I believe she's just dealing more damage overall, on top of having that 170% core extra damage to Chill. And then there was one other character I was actually really curious about, and that was Kula. And I wanted to test Kula because Kula's a character that we use in Immortal Typhon, and she does apply Chill. She's also got this deal additional damage equal to 200% of attack when attacking a frozen enemy. Now keep in mind, that's when they're frozen. There's a difference between frozen and chill, okay? When a character's frozen, they're just laying there stationary. And when they're chilled, that's just a dot effect that's applied to them. And if you look at her core effect, she doesn't have any of the increased damage to chill like Merlin, or are increased to a certain dot effect damage like Merlin or Athena. But I went ahead and tested on her, and the conclusion that I came up with was I did one run with the AKANE set, and I got 12,300,000 points. When I ran with the Merlin set, I got 11,792,000. And I tried that multiple times, and I kept getting more damage with the AKANE set. So For Kula, Athena, they did more damage using the sets that we already have available in the game. King did a little bit more damage with the Merlin set, but like I said, it was only about 110,000 more damage versus the KS set. That is not much, and that's not really worth spending those rubies. But for Merlin, and it's so crazy, but for Merlin, it made the biggest difference, and I really believe it is because of this core effect. Getting that deal additional damage equal to 170% attack to all enemies is a big deal, and it really seemed to make the difference. I mean, you're getting that 170% chill on top of getting the extra 75% chill damage. You got the active skill damage. It's just, wow. It really made a difference. But do I think you really need to pull for this set? The answer is no. Even though it is doing more damage than the Serena set or the AKANE set, I still don't think really people really need it. I mean, the Serena set got 13,589,000. The Merlin set got 14,388,000, which is a difference of about 800,000 points. And that is a pretty good amount. And over a long amount of time, if you're spamming your skills. See, that's the thing about the Serena set. When you use that set, you're going to be using it in the Spider Robot, and you're going to be using it in Guild Raid, but most of the time, now I do spam my skills when I use the Serena set, and if you're going to spam your skills, then I probably wouldn't worry about the Merlin set. However, if you're not going to spam your skills, unless you're in Immortal Dungeon, I know this seems confusing, but the Serena sets will not apply against the Immortal Dungeons because you can't tag in your character. So you don't get that extra 15% additional damage. But the Merlin set will be better for the Immortal Dungeons. In truth, it's going to be better for her against Immortal Vulcan because she's a blue type, she's got the type advantage. And it's going to be better for the Immortal Typhon because she does deal chill damage and freeze. So she's actually probably going to be pretty good for the Immortal Typhon as well, especially since she's got the decreased damage received, the hyper armor, she's got a lot of good survivability, and she could deal chill damage from her third skill. So should you pull it? I mean, it really depends on you as to whether or not you should pull that card set. It really does look like Merlin's really the only one so far from all my testing that's actually benefiting from it. And if you think that 800,000 points is worth it, again, if you're going to spam your skills, if you're playing her in Guild Raid and you're spamming your skills, maybe you'd want to have the Merlin set. If you plan on using her in the Immortal Vulcan and the Immortal Typhon, it might be a good set because over that time frame, all the stalling from the 3 PGs and the ultimate stalling the timer, you're just going to do a lot more damage over time. I mean, compared to the AKANE set, which is actually a more fair comparison in the Immortal Dungeons, the Merlin set did 1,400,000 more damage. Actually, a little bit more than that compared to the AKANE set. So in the Immortal Dungeons, the Merlin set's going to be pretty freaking amazing for Merlin. And that's really what it boils down to. Is it worth it to you to pick up the card set so she can do quite a bit better in the Immortal Dungeons? And keep in mind, you might be able to even be user for Immortal Nyx, even though it's really darkness and dot explosions, which really does the job to Immortal Nyx. But you never know, maybe you could put her on a team and still put her to work because there is no color disadvantage or advantage against Immortal Nyx. So let me know how you're all feeling about these comparisons and how things churned out. And as always, let me know characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time from Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.